It's Spoilerin time, folks. This is a companion show to Cord Killers. On Cord Killers, we talk about the industry and the shows coming out and how you watch them and what devices to use. But when we've watched them, we come over here and we talk about them. This week, we're going to be talking about Miami Vice, Season 2, Episode 13, Definitely Miami. We're also going to talk about the Book of Boba Fett, Episode 4, and the Righteous Gemstones, Season 2, Episode 4. I'm Tom Merritt. He's Brian Brushwood.
Yeah, dude, and I am super excited to begin with the Righteous Gemstones.
Let's talk about the Righteous Gemstones, Season 2, Episode 4. This is as to how they might destroy him. Kelvin gets in a fight with Eli. Jesse has a dispute over the $10 million with Eli. It all ruins BJ's baptism as Judy kind of conspires to turn BJ against his very understanding atheist or agnostic family. What did you think, Brian?
It's great. The show just keeps getting better. Edie Patterson continues to steal the spotlight with her character revealing like bizarre, weird perceptions of what is normal in the world. Right. Like the discussion where it's like, oh, like she talks about how all brothers want to bang their sisters or whatever.
And not just that she talks about it, but like, I mean, obviously we all know that all brothers want to bang, so let's move on to the less obvious points.
And then on top of that, highest of praise for the family that BJ comes from being represented. Like when they explain, one of them like, oh, I'm an atheist. They're like, well, I'm agnostic. And the other one says, I'm a leftist progressive. Is that what they said?
Right. And they're just all like super like respectful and understanding.
I don't know about respectful. They certainly are fascinated.
They become less respectful over time. But when I say respectful, I guess I don't mean praising. I mean like, hey, we're just here to take part and support BJ. Period. We're not gonna throw. I guess actually his sister is a little less respectful, but the mom and dad seem to want to toe the line a little more, right?
Yeah. The part that amazed me was just how dark and broken things seem to get. Like, boy, yeah. First of all, I think at this point, if last season was a heist episode in which the plan was laid out from the beginning and we saw the execution of it, this season is a whodunit. Only the Scooby Gang happens to be the siblings. I think that Junior, quite obviously at this point, it was like they put out a press release that is like, no, Junior's definitely not the killer. He just really had his feelings hurt, which is why he did the meanest thing he could think to do, which is have a wrestler friend throw a tomato at Eli's car and then explain that means that Junior is upset and wants an apology.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if Junior did kill him in some like hilarious madcap misadventure sort of way, because there's so much carnage. But I also don't expect that. And I don't know. I don't know who to suspect at this point. It could be the listens, some weird back channel way, because we're spending a lot of time with them.
Well,
also we get baby Billy in the 80s abandoning his son at a puppy mill store in the mall. Who is that?
That's his not illegitimate. That's just, he's a deadbeat dad, and that's his previous family.
Right, but have we already met him as a grown-up somewhere?
Yeah, I don't think we've met anyone with a hunchback or named Harmon, which I believe was the kid's name. And there seems to be a gap in the people who are trying to kill Eli Gemstone.
Because I was like, is that BJ? But then of course,
there's
BJ's
theories.
BJ's mom shows up and doesn't react to baby Billy. So I'm like, well, they at least tipped a little bit of a something there. And we don't. So now I'm wondering if, I don't know. Why would Harmon, why would baby Billy's abandoned son want to kill Eli?
Well, separate threads here. I think that we probably already know Baby Billy's son under a different name, or had met him in last season or whatever.
One would assume,
and we have yet to figure it out.
We haven't met them. We just don't know who it is.
Right.
It would be good murder mystery for that to be the case.
Correct. Also, the A+ award for consistency in parenting goes to Baby Billy, as he bolts during pregnancy.
Yeah, but the theory I've seen is maybe he's going to go see Harmon,
Could be.
because I believe he's going to where they set up the flashback from.
Meanwhile, we have an assassination attempt, which, by the way, all three of the kids just awful to their dad. Like the new line is, "You're old and busted. We all know you're going to hand the empire to somewhere. We're all going to treat you with disrespect.
And you're dating."
Yes, and we're going to mock you for being a widower. And then Kelvin, of course, the worst offender, and very satisfying when he just breaks his thumbs, and along with breaking his thumbs, breaks the respect of his entire fragile God Squad muscle boy thing.
Well, and Kelvin brings it on. Eli isn't going to do it, right? Until Kelvin finally is the straw that breaks the camel's back. He's like, "You're not going to do it." And Eli's like, "Fine, I will. I'll show you." Right. So it's more pain than damage.
And he says, "I wish it did hit you in the head and kill you."
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's ooh boy.
Also, I loved the bit where we see Jesse and his wife Amber. Jesse and Amber say like, "Oh well, we're not going to let Eli. This is for Eli." And they're like, "Screw that. We're taking it." And you quickly figure out that was a setup to get Eli to the assassination attempt, which then makes me wonder, like, didn't they have strict instructions to bring Eli, or was the driver just ill-informed?
I would assume that the driver just got bullied, is probably accustomed to last-minute changes. But that was very good storytelling sleight of hand, because I was too amazed at how quickly Danny McBride's character goes from literally crying about how he can't raise $10 million to dancing alone in a gas station saying, "Man, that was a crap show. We're the awesome ones. Dance, 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 dance." And then
what are you guys? Also, who sent the scooter assassin gang?
I would assume, one theory that I have heard is that it would be what's Eric Andre's
the Listens.
The Listens, because they now know that
where the money is,
or what's stopping the money from going to them.
So they take out Eli, the money goes to Jesse. Yeah,
and exactly. Yeah.
It could also, I think you're meant to, if you're not thinking about it too hard, you're meant to think like, well, when he didn't react to the tomato, the next step is a full-on assassin squad. But I don't quite buy that myself.
No, I also do not buy that.
Yeah.
As Justin put it, somebody was like, "Oh, I don't think Junior is the bad guy," and Justin says, "Yeah, in this whodunit mystery, the most obvious first villain probably isn't the one that is revealed to be the bad guy."
Well, unless that's the twist.
Yeah. A double red herring. We call that a double red herring.
Yeah. That's a brick red herring.
Yeah.
It's double. All right. Anyway, fun episode. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Righteous Gemstones, episode 4. Any other thoughts?
No, it's great. It's really, really good. Show just keeps getting better, and it's like a fractal. I could watch a series on any one of these characters, full stop.
That is the 4th episode of season 2 of The Righteous Gemstones. Let's talk about the book of Boba Fett, season 1, season only, episode 4, or rather chapter 4, The Gathering Storm, Or Brian, I don't know about you, but as I called it, the first episode of Boba Fett.
Oh my God, what a good way to put it. Because, it began with an explanation as to why notorious, famed bounty hunter Boba Fett would decide to become the mayor of Katy, Texas. Also, an explanation of where his relationship with his sidekick came from. Also, literally anything happening that made sense and wasn't silly.
No, this was great. I really liked this episode a lot. And it was because of that, because we got things that made sense. It wasn't that so much that we got answers. It was that we got story. We'd had a lot of pieces of story, and that was intriguing. And I wondered how they were all going to fit together. But this implies that they, in fact, do fit together. And I love seeing that sort of alternate angle on Boba Fett meeting Fennec. I absolutely adored the little subtle musical cues of like, hey, you've seen The Mandalorian, right? It's happening over there. So we're going to give you a little like whistle from the Mandalorian theme to let you know that that's where the story is intersecting. And now we're off to the races as far as, well, he didn't get his armor out of the Sarlacc. Although when he came out of the Sarlacc, he didn't have the armor, but I guess he just doesn't quite remember everything. And I don't know. So now it's off to hunt for the armor some more, which means we might get Timothy Oliphant again.
That would be great. And I'm 100% down for it. It's what we still haven't gotten is I'm waiting for I don't know. I'm waiting for Matt Berry to say, in the video game Boba Fett, there's precarious alliance, and it's important that the mayor not be relied upon for these reasons. Blah, 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 blah. But I can I confess something, Tom?
Please.
I watched this in 2 sittings because once I got 25 minutes in, I was like, this isn't embarrassing and dumb and cheap. I bet this wasn't directed by Robert Rodriguez. And then I went to bed. And then days later, I watched the rest of it. I'm like, that was pretty good. It actually progressed a story and told a narrative and seemed to be an expansive world. Oh, yeah, I was right. It wasn't directed by Robert Rodriguez.
Although he was in it.
Was he?
Yeah. Doc Strassi.
Oh, that's awesome.
In it. Yeah. I also loved seeing Wookiee pull an arm off, not just threaten. There was that great moment where Jennifer Beals, Garsa Whip, says like, come on, I'll wipe out your tab, and your tab's pretty big. And you're like, any reasonable person, any reasonable alien of any species would wipe out that tab and not rip the arm off. And you just see Black Krrsantan go, nah, it's worth it. Rip.
And then he pays in full and off he goes.
He's like, I'll just pay my tab. Don't take that away from me.
It was only after watching the episode that I realized I watched a wacky robot cat chase sequence and didn't mind it.
Oh, the Ratatouille thing?
Yeah, right? Also, let me be clear, just in case Robert Rodriguez is watching.
Oh.
It's just, sometimes things aren't a fit. It's not for me.
It's not you, it's him.
But what I loved about that moment was, first of all, it was a wacky chase inside of, a heist to get his ship, followed by a brutal murder of an entire mob with an overpowered spacecraft. It was amazing.
Yeah, you never kill the dog, you kill the bad guy. That's kind of what that was about there. And then you get the how Fennec got her groove, like literally a groove in her gut that is full of droid parts that saved her life. What did you think of the Mater scene?
What's funny is I didn't recognize the cameo appearance of the Mater, but I could tell like this is not an actor, but it's somebody I'm supposed to recognize, and it's stunt casting. Cool, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. It was Thundercat. Yeah. For anybody who knows. Also, but I did like the sort of extension of like, hey, the scooter droid people that we meet later on. Yeah. That scene goes back and has some roots, and here it is. That was a nice extension that I enjoyed too. Anything else about Book of Boba Fett?
You know what? I'm giving it a pass. It could go whatever direction it wants. It can get more silly. It could get less silly. I'm weirdly along for the ride now. I'm not expecting anything.
Can I share? So I saw this in the AV Club recap for this episode, but I think they make a very good point of saying that, a la Homer Simpson, this is the episode where Boba Fett realizes money can get you a crew of people. And haven't you been doing this for weeks now? It's very the line, Fennec's line, the final line that ends this episode. Credits can buy muscle if you know where to look.
Money
yeah,
can be
you're an
exchanged for goods and services.
Yes. Okay. I'm not enjoying this show.
Imperial credits or Republic credits?
Oh, or Tatooine sand dollars.
It's a cryptocurrency. A lot of people don't realize. That is the Book of Boba Fett, episode 4. Let's talk about Miami Vice, the episode of season 2, roughly counting as 13, called Definitely Miami, in which Ted Nugent says very little, but does say definitely Miami.
Tom, this was a caricature of everything I feared Miami Vice was going to be, only reduced to a concentrated form that made me hate it with the burning passion of 1,000 white hot suns. I hated it so much that I wondered how many other people hated it. So I went to IMDb and was shocked to see it is the highest rated episode at 9 out of 10.
Do you know why?
I do know why. The average number of ratings of a Miami Vice episode on IMDb is between 200 and 400 ratings. This one has 2,000 ratings, presumably a lot of 10-star ratings. Ted Nugent strikes me as the kind of person that wouldn't be shy about asking his fandom to fix a mistake. For example, like if an IMDb rating was very poor on his episode of Miami Vice. That is my current operating theory.
My understanding is that the ending, the final 6 minutes, that long sequence at the end with the music video, is considered one of the best endings of Miami Vice, full stop. It is considered one of the most iconic and best endings of this series, is my understanding from the people at the Miami Vice wiki.
Flames on the side of my face. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I know.
I'm not sure I liked either of the 2 episodes that were smashed into one.
Why do they
didn't seem to have anything to do with each other?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got the Crockett needs to save the lady, and then you've got the actual, like, you know, we're trying to track down this guy and bring him in, and use his witness protection daughter to bring him in from the cold.
Oh, that's right. Those are completely
both this
unrelated.
episode. Yeah.
For whatever reason, I don't know if it's just the episodes that we pick, but we keep getting ones where Crockett and Tubbs keep getting split up, it feels like. And
yeah, that's the downside to not watching every single episode, is we don't know if that's just normal or if it's the particular episodes that we're picking.
Yeah. But it's not good. I always hate that. I like their chemistry. I want them to work together. And it always feels like they're just pushing him off to the side for some reason. Tubbs.
Few favorite moments in this episode for me. One is when the dirt falls on the car in the opening scene from somewhere.
Yeah,
there's no truck.
At first, yes,
there's no
it's
crane.
Just implied that there must be something dropping it, but instead it's like the weirdest volcanic ash just dropping in
They
clumps.
Make
a point of giving you a wide shot to show there was absolutely nothing that could have dropped that dirt.
That's right. And then it makes this ugly, unnatural mound that nobody could have missed. It's so funny.
And then there's the sexy move of I will not only take my top off and put on this shirt. I will not only put on a wet shirt after I take my top off, I will use Perrier.
Yes, right.
do it.
Okay, so
And it ends up dry. It's dry when she puts it on.
Also in the hot Miami sun, because it's definitely Miami. This thing is going to dry out like that.
To their credit, the Perrier logo is faced backwards. They Greek it out so that you don't know for sure, but we all know what Perrier looks like, which is a carbonated water. So why would you soak your shirt in carbonated water, to put on the shirt, take off your bikini top,
how chic
and then
she is.
suddenly be dry to walk up to two randos and just say,
well, the why of, we know the why, but because it's a honeypot. She's the honeypot, but
yeah, sure. No, I guess that makes sense.
Tom, I didn't care for this one. I thought it was quite bad.
Pretty bad.
I did not like either of these episodes, as I mentioned.
So bad that you're gonna have to explain to me why we're gonna go even one more episode into this.
As I was finishing this episode, I thought, man, if Brian asked me to turn my key to continue the Miami Vice watch, I'm not sure I could justify it after this. And then I saw that the next episode is not just Bernard King. It's not just Bernie King and Michael Richards from Seinfeld. It's Bernie King, Michael Richards, and Los Angeles Lakers all-star basketball player Bill Russell. And I thought, man, I have to see that. I have to see why you would have Bill Russell, Bernard King, and Michael Richards all in one Miami Vice episode. I can't resist, Brian. I got to see it.
I'm going to trust you this one time.
There's no trust involved. This is pure spectacle. I can't look away. I know it'll probably be a car wreck.
To be honest, actually, let me rephrase. There is enough goodwill and momentum still carrying me. Like at this point, I have stopped. I am now just letting the glacier push me. And we'll see how far it goes.
Yeah. I again, probably time to drop. Oh, Harvey Firestein's in this episode too. I didn't even realize that.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So you get two NBA players, Bernie King and Bill Russell, and you get Harvey Firestein and Michael Richards. That's a lot. That's a lot.
Do we want to diagnose why this was such a bad episode? I mean, I guess basically nothing happened.
It's a softcore pornography for about the first act.
Yeah, right.
And then
a lot of 5 full minutes.
And then it's just kind of granted, I was not giving it my full attention, but it seemed like a confusing mess of an episode.
It
Ted
was.
Nugent is underutilized.
He's in it like not at all.
Yeah,
but he's the big bad.
Barely in it. Yeah. And you have an entirely unrelated second episode playing alongside that also didn't quite make sense.
It's not very good. It's like a Fed wants to go back on their word for witness protection, and
like, I just don't buy that you would pull someone out of witness protection for this at all. Yeah. Anyone. Like, they didn't convince me.
Yeah.
It's another. I learned a lot by looking up the Miami Vice Wikipedia, but another episode where a federal agent comes in and is overconfident, and that is a known trope.
Yeah. All right, I'll buy that. It was definitely Miami.
Yeah, it's definitely Miami.
That is.
I refuse to acknowledge that. It was definitely not my. It's not Miami Vice.
It may not have been Miami Vice, but it was definitely Miami. I mean, they were in Miami. You got to give them that, Brad, right?
Allegedly.
Yeah, they were literally in Miami. All right, that is Miami Vice season 2, episode 13-ish. Definitely Miami. Next time on Spoilerin Time, we will talk about the Book of Boba Fett, episode 5. We'll talk about the Righteous Gemstones, episode 5. And we are going to skip ahead 6 episodes to Miami Vice season 2, episode 19, The Fix. Again, look for the episode called The Fix with Bill Russell, Bernard King, Michael Richards, and Harvey Firestein. I can't wait to see how that all plays out. I hope it's not bad. Thanks for supporting us, patreon.com/cordkillers, keeping this fun alive. We really, really appreciate you. We give you special cuts of the episodes. We give you the episodes early. So jump on in there if you haven't already. Patreon.com/cordkillers. We will spoil you again next time.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.